Okay, today we're going to look at how to complete the level 3 drawing. You want to remember to start by writing your name, class, that is major or core, not your number, the date, and you don't have to worry about level 3 if you printed out the packet, but if you were not able to print it out, you will have to write level 3 after you have drawn your borders. It's important to keep in mind, this is where the top view goes, this is going to be the side view, this is going to be the front view. Looking at the isometric, we can kind of see versions of those as we look at the different sides or faces of the object. So from the top, if we look down, we can imagine we're going to be seeing this surface right here, as well as this surface right here. Because when we look down, that's what we'd see. From the side, we're going to see this surface and this surface. And from the front, we will see these ones. Going over here to our top view, I'm going to go ahead and use a ruler. You should either have a ruler at this point, or you should have made something that works as a ruler using the demo that I showed you earlier. We can see that the top view is going to be 2 inches long overall by 1 inch wide overall, or 1 inch deep. So we can go ahead and draw a 2 inch by 1 inch box. Now, it's helpful to line that up so that it's parallel more or less with the other lines that are going in the same direction. And remember, you can drop that vertical line down right into the other view to save time later on, and also to help line up your drawing. I can actually compare the edge of my ruler to the outside here after I've lined it up. And I'm going to mark off 1 inch here. So this forms more or less the footprint of my top view. I'm going to come in and draw this little cutaway part of it, which is 1 inch from the right and a 1/2 inch deep. There's 1 inch. I'm going to line it up with something here. I know that that goes about halfway through the middle, and I want to keep that line as well because I know I'm going to need it later for when I do the side view. I've also got this 1/2 inch cut into the front, so there's a 1/2 inch. I'll go ahead and measure a 1/2 inch here, and then I can bring that line over. So there's my top view. I've got this part of it and the little cutaway part that I know is a 1/2 inch lower than this top surface. For the bottom view, I'm going to go ahead and line up my baseline with the bottom of the paper so that I know it is parallel. And I'm going to bring it into the front view so that they share a baseline. This is so that my views line up. I know that the side view is 1 inch high because it says so here. I understand by looking at this that this is on the same level as this. So by looking at the bottom, I can surmise that it is the same height all the way around because the top is a single flat surface. This is what makes technical drawings really clear. You only have to label one dimension if you can trust your viewer to kind of make certain assumptions about how those dimensions apply to the whole object. So there's my 1 inch height there. And I can come over as far as I want, comparing it to this baseline. The farther away I get, the more accurate it's going to be when I get to the front view. Because if I was to make the 1 inch here, that gives me a greater range of flexibility for my ruler, and I could get way off. But if I move it out here, it causes me to have to be a little bit more accurate when I draw that line across. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to just sort of like do another line in here somewhere. Next, I want to come up a 1/2 inch because that is where the isometric view is showing me this cut comes down to. I'm going to come up here a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to come over to here. While I'm over here, I might as well draw the side of my front view. I'm going to go over here and come down a 1/2 inch. And while I'm over here, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side of my front view. That's this line right here. Now I can finish it off. Let's review. We've got our front view, our side view, and our top view. I'm going to go ahead and label these, and I'd like you to do the same thing. So, how do you label something? First, you want to draw a very light baseline. You want to come up a little bit, give yourself a kind of a narrow, I'd say that's about between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch. And you're going to write top view. And I want you to get used to writing in all caps very clearly so that your writing is absolutely legible by anyone. Technical drawings should be absolutely as clear as possible, and that's a very important attribute of technical drawing because they serve a function in manufacturing and engineering. Right now I'm just going in and emboldening some of the lines. I always do all the lines going in the same direction at once, rather than having to move my ruler back and forth a lot to get between horizontal and vertical. Lastly, I'm going to go in and I'm going to just add the rest of the labels. And that is my finished level 3 exercise.